everybody, welcome back to the House Rivalry Playoffs. It's not just your normal House Rivalry Swiss. We are about to get into the playoffs here with our first matches. The top 8, the play-ins have happened. We've had the upsets. We've had the predicted scores. If you want to follow this journey, you can go / bracket, and there's the House Rivalry Season 3 playoff bracket there. And join with me is Bills. How you doing, Bills?
Oh man, I'm excited. We're narrowing it down, man. It's coming down to all of a sudden these teams are a couple of game wins away, right, from making it into the semis, the finals, and it's gonna be tough to see some of these teams lose because some of the journeys have been remarkable.
Yeah, speaking of tough to lose, we got 2 major organizations going up against each other in top 8 just due to the way that the seeding's gone. It's a rematch between NORDAVIND and For the Win Esports, and this is going to be interesting. And Bills, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the rosters here, and let's introduce the teams that are playing today.
Yeah, so for NORDAVIND.
Oh, actually, hold on. I have a cool little media promo, so check it out.
Ooh.
Those are your teams. Those are playing right now at this very moment, so I'm going to go ahead and let them know to start off. But with that being said, Mr. Bills, why don't we also introduce the decks and what they banned?
Yeah, so we have, for NORDAVIND, they have had, no surprise here, to the surprise of 0 viewers at this point if you're into the playoffs, NORDAVIND's Priest has been banned.
What?
Leaving them, out of nowhere, leaving their Malagos Druid, their Control Warrior, and their Shirvala OTK Paladin available to them. On the other side, For the Win Esports didn't bring Priest, which immediately makes NORDAVIND's desire to ban Priest feel a little awkward. It's like, we banned your Priest. It's like, well, we didn't.
There's no Priest.
There's no Priest. So, in that case, they've actually had their Zoo Warlock banned, leaving up their own Malagos Druid, a Bomb Warrior, and their own version of OTK Shirvala Paladin. And if there's one thing we've seen, it wasn't even that long ago, you and I cast Zoo Warlock doing a bunch of work, so that's a ban. Makes sense. Just a ban that makes sense. If there's no Priest there, go ahead and ban the other board-centric kills you strategy, right. Board pressure deck, and
blase magic carpet, blase.
Yeah. So this should be interesting. I've loved, and I'm just going to go ahead and full disclosure, I really like Malagos. I'm a big fan of dragons, and so I'm hoping
dragons
we get to see
are cool,
some
dude.
Malagos. Yeah, but it looks like it's actually going to be NORDAVIND on their OTK Paladin up against the Bomb Warrior for the Win Esports, starting us off.
And that's fine. We'll see how this goes. I think starting off the OTK Paladin is a good choice from NORDAVIND, as this will be like either a swing or a miss, and it's good to get out of the way right now. Because if it wins a game, great. That gets some decks out of the way for you that you're really uncomfortable. Unfortunately, though, it did queue up against the Bomb Warrior, which hypothetically should have a little bit more trouble against the Shirvala Paladin, just because the fact it can't generate as much armor as an actual Control Warrior. But Dr. Boom still exists in the deck, so ergo, at some point, there will be just a time where they just literally shield the hell out of themselves out of death range.
Yeah, and they're also able to generate a lot more pressure on the Paladin. They're going to be able to, they have the complete 2 Clockwork Goblins, 2 Augmented Elix, 2 Wrench Calibers, as well as all the sort of mid-range and late game board pressure that comes from like Armageddon Tomb Warden, Armageddon Ziliax, Frightened Flunkies, such stuff like that. So they're going to be able to put what they lack in that survivability, like you were talking about. They're probably going to try to put the Paladin under pressure instead and try to just kill them before they're able to go off.
Right. Unless this game goes for a very long time, that's the only way I can see where you're maybe outliving, but not by much. It really is just a big old race of generating those bombs as well. That is another factor to it, because, like you said, there's the Elic, so that does allow them to make draws really awkward, because you don't want to have a deck that relies on drawing to basically have a lot of bombs, because that's just going to suck.
Yeah, those. I think there's a maximum possible 12 bombs if they Elic every single bomb generator they have. And yeah, you don't want 12. You only get 30 cards in the first place. Paladin draws very aggressively, trying to get their combo off.
Yeah.
If 12 of those cards kill you, that can really...
And don't forget, there's some ways of discovering mechs as well. Omega Assembly, Dr. Boom. Those are ways of also getting some Clockwork Goblins that add additional bombs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so for the Win Esports right now, thinking about, do they need maximum bomb generation? If so, they need to hang on to this Elic and Clockwork Goblin. They're actually going to go ahead and Warpath to both clear this, to clear the, what's the Wild Pyromancer guy's name?
Wild Pyromancer.
That's the one. Clear this Wild Pyromancer and go ahead and play out a Warpath. Warpath not super high value in this matchup.
No.
If you're trying to Warpath down a Shirvala, you're in bad shape.
This is really smart though. Yeah, and on top of that, you can get like Restless Mummy. I think it's actually, when you hold on to it, it's just to proc the Divine Shield. Yeah, you're restoring 14 health to your opponent, but you're making it all that much more scarier for them.
Yeah. And so now, Nordavind, you know, the question you have to ask yourself every turn when you're this paladin is, how do I draw the most cards
you feeling lucky,
safely?
Punk?
Yeah. So, you know, there's a coin Prismatic Lens, which would let them draw 2. They can develop their Acolyte of Pain, spend their 3 mana this turn. They could just Novice Engineer, get the 1 guaranteed draw.
I like playing the Acolyte of Pain or Novice just because using Prismatic this early can just go horribly wrong, just like using Tracking early as a Hunter. Because then basically you're just going to run into things that you don't want to get rid of or you don't want to change the value. Like, see if they did Prismatic Lens then, that like Holy Wrath could have been something totally a lot more mana or something.
Yeah, that's a great point. Prismatic Lens has the potential, if you don't have Shirvala in your hand, to just brick your combo. All of a sudden, Shirvala costs 5, and your Holy Wrath costs 25, and you can't do it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and see the Novice Engineer develop this turn. That would seem to indicate a Thalnos follow-up as well. Just continuing onward. The Warrior hasn't generated a lot of pressure yet, but we see some stuff coming up. You know, turn 6, For the Win's going to have the choice between Armageddillo or Elic Clockwork Goblin. And, you know, either one of those will either throw a lot of bombs in the deck or get ready for the Tomb Warden. I'd actually assume they're going to set up for Armageddillo next turn, because Tomb Warden on 8 is going to demand a response from Paladin, and they've already thrown away a Wild Pyromancer.
That is true. They do need to have some way to answer that, and they don't have Shrink Ray in the hand right now, so all they have is Equality, which is like, okay, with the Pyromancer, which they could potentially coin proc that if they wanted to. Actually, it would be enough turns to pass by that would need that, but we'll see what they do. It looks like they are going wide on this board, just gonna go ahead and clear it out. I like the idea though, definitely like playing their Armageddillo, but I just wonder, like, is that fast enough of a threat that they would want to work that in, or would they want to start trying to jam in bombs? Because like this Paladin's going to work on drawing, and they haven't really taken advantage of that yet.
Yeah, and there's so much. It's interesting. The Paladin's kind of gotten stuck with a lot of survival tools they don't need yet. Like, they don't need these timeouts yet.
They're still at 30.
Yeah, they you know, they'd like to continue drawing. They have both copies of Prismatic Lens in their hand. They're actually going to discard the coin in order to make room in their hand. Or they might just Hammer of Wrath. Okay, they're thinking about some stuff, but they would need to discard the coin in order to play Prismatic Lens and then still be able to play something else.
They're at 10.
Yeah, so yeah, that would actually draw them back to 10. So they'd have to coin Prismatic Lens and then potentially discard their other Pyromancer, which yeah, exactly. I agree with that gasp. Because, you know, if they play coin Prismatic Lens Flash of Light, they still have 10 cards in their hand.
I think you just coin Prismatic and you hero power.
Wouldn't you still be stuck at 10 if you do that? Okay, so they're actually gonna, they're gonna coin Hammer of Wrath. Wow, they're gonna coin Pyromancer, Hammer of Wrath. Okay, so this will go ahead and clear off everything on the board. There's Shirvala.
Okay, now you can start Prismaticing.
Yeah, that makes your prismatic a lot less dangerous. So I mean, based on their play last turn, I would assume that this is an Armageddillo turn, unless like you said, they really want to start going for bomb generation. But you can do bomb generation later. You can wait till you have a Wrench Caliber in hand, for example, and do all 3 of those cards in one play for 10 mana. All right, Armageddillo. He's big and he's ready.
And he's got a laser on his back.
Big old laser.
It's just, it looks like something out of like a Target.
Yeah, just a on-target laser.
Yeah, exactly. Just like
right.
it looks like a toy you would buy your kid.
Yeah, or for myself.
Hey, yeah, it's true. Hey kids, get the new latest collector's edition of Armageddillo from HouseRivalries Esports.
With real articulating laser action, it lights up. Batteries not included.
Yeah, exactly. So each accessory still separate.
Does not contain actual Armageddillo. Your results may vary.
Yeah, results may vary. Very high roll.
Yeah. All right. So they did see the Armageddillo trigger. So yeah, and so they know that they have to be ready for a juiced Zilliax, a juiced Tomb Warden. A juiced Frightened Flunky's a little bit more handleable, especially if you already have a True Silver Champion equipped.
That's true.
This is kind of an awkward turn. Yeah, true. So I just got it. That took a second. To me, this feels like a... Okay, well, they beat me to it. I was going to say a flunky turn.
Flunk?
In unlimited flunky. Let's go.
I actually do like also Tunnel Blaster as well, because it makes it a little bit awkward. Because you have to focus on dealing it. Because basically, this thing could just easily kill the board. And like if Shirvala gets played at any point in time without the Baleful Banker, it could just get like, oh gosh... It's either I kill this or I get killed.
Yeah, it could make because if Paladin's in a situation where they have to fight for their life, then they need the Shirvala healing to like survive bomb hits later on.
And then they use the Shirvala to hit the thing, then it dies. Well, all right, cool. They're not going to go for flunk. They're just going to play for something that's going to play on tempo, and I like this a lot. And also allows them to draw Zilliax this turn.
Yeah, and that Zilliax in conjunction with those big old Tomb Wardens is going to be real nice.
Big old Tomb Warden.
Big old Tomb Warden baptized in gravy.
I actually found that song recently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it. I have to send you that link later. It's actually genuinely good.
Please do. Then I'll never stop singing.
It's like the old-fashioned. It was apparently an Old Town Road before Old Town Road was Old Town Road.
Oh, okay. The pre-town road.
Yeah.
New. All right.
Older Town Road.
Yeah. Vintage Town Road. All right. So this is an interesting situation for Warrior because they, on the one hand, it'd be nice to just go ahead and slam a jam this gigantic Tomb Warden, but you haven't really pulled, and they've seen both. They've seen both Wild Pyromancers, right? So at this point, big equality clears are not, in combination with Wild Pyromancer, are not possible.
No, but Equality Consecration is the deal now that they can have to put up with.
Yeah, so they know that it's a 2-card combo, but Nordavind has successfully drawn a bunch of cards, and we're up into the mana ranges where now, like you're saying, Equality Consecrate, Shrink Ray Consecrate become real considerations. And now Nordavind can really leverage the double healing effects off this Crystal Smith Kangor, Flash of Light combo, as well as a True Silver Swing if they want to.
Yeah.
And start pushing their health ever upward and ever onward, as well as continue the draws.
That's very true.
They're mousing.
I wonder.
Prismatic Lens.
I think they're debating on whether they want to do it now or when they get the consecration, so they at least know they have a guarantee board clear of Equality Consecration, because they don't want to throw the mana off for that. I don't know what would be higher than a 4 mana. I guess both Holy Rats have been drawn. I don't know what else would be like really high mana for a consecration. I think only could go down.
Just a Shrink Ray is the only thing that would increase the
the Shrink Ray. That's right.
But that's not a that's like you're saying. That's not a big. That's not really a big concern. Okay, we're actually going to go ahead and see a timeout used this turn.
Because they want to heal because they don't want to take damage. Okay.
Yeah. So they're going to successfully heal all the way up to, what is that, 34 aggregate health?
That's pretty good.
Not bad. All right, 9 mana.
Ooh.
No mechs on the board.
You could just, but you could play one. You have the option to play your Omega Devastator, which is not going to get as much value in this kind of matchup. So you could just start getting a big body for the Ziliax and just start punching.
Yeah, they have. It seems like they need to play something big, right? So it seems like if it's not Omega Devastator on 9 is one of the most like feels bad situations to play it, but a 4/5 on the board. But I think you're right in this situation. A 4/5 sooner. You know, the super laser. Yeah, you don't even need it. You just need to generate some board threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nordavind doesn't feel like they're under. Nordavind is basically discarding timeouts right now just to make room in their hand for other stuff.
What now?
I mean, it also got extra healing off the True Silver Champion, but yeah, there it is. Just as was foretold, the Tempo Omega Devastator on turn 9.
Hero power.
Okay, gonna go ahead and add the armor up. I guess they can charge Ziliax if they wait a turn.
That's
basically,
true.
by
that dodges the equality consecration. Actually, the consecration wouldn't matter because, like, well, the equality would still have an effect, but it would still lit because of the divine shield. But it would still be just a one with the divine shield.
Yeah. Okay, there's Christology. They have drawn so many cards at Zephyrus is live already. They're just spoiled for choice. They're gonna go ahead and Christology.
I think they have like only 5 left. 4. There we go. They just drew their 5th.
And drawing down to 3. There's that Shrink Ray.
Yeah.
Elven Archer. Yeah.
But here's the problem. Or maybe it's not a problem. They're at 40 health. If there's any way that the warrior gets to 50 within these next turns, which I don't think is possible, I think they've won.
Yeah, although this Omega assembly, if it successfully hits, what's the little 2 mana mech? Vicious Scrap Hound? Yeah. You can attach a Ziliax to a Scrap Hound. You can stack up armor like, you know, really
Eternium
fast.
Rover as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically there's also just lifesteal things as well.
Oh yeah, if you can get enough. So what is that? Omega Devastator, Security Rover, and Mortuary Machine.
Yeah, that's a thing that gives Reborn to mechs.
After your opponent plays a minion. Huh.
Oh, never mind.
Wow, it's a 5 mana 8/8 though. That's pretty big.
Yeah, but it's like giving your, like they literally play. It's like, oh, nice. I love your Malagos. Let me make sure it lives forever.
Oh yeah, but I guess, and if there is any matchup, this seems like one of the ones where it could end up being useful. Just the
I don't know. If you give your opponent Shrivala Reborn, you're guaranteeing that's getting Baleful Banker.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Though I appreciate the A for effort in thinking that line.
Yeah, well, there's if it only matters if you can leverage that to kill them that turn. Yeah. Because if you don't, they'll just heal for 14.
Pretty much.
And
all right, well, here's the thing. This is awkward because you can Equality Consecration or Shrink Ray Consecration. The end of the long story short is, Bill, something's gonna live on board even after this. You have a Reborn. You also have the Rover, Security Rover, and that gives you a 2/2 taunt. So then that's also another mech that you can build on top, magnetize it with it, and then you can get Ziliax that it's a 5/5 or 5/4.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just a Tyrion turn. Just play Zephyrus and take your Tyrion, play Tyrion.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like they're gonna play a timeout instead. Okay.
Just to get the Shrivala to 0?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even look at that. So they have successfully pushed their Shrivala all the way to 0. Next turn, if they don't have any way to draw, they can pick up a Tyrion or pick up the Twisting Nether, for the wind decides to really bulk this board up.
Yeah, 2 cards remaining. Oh gosh, this is running really close. This is like a seriously close matchup. This is a race of like, does the warrior out heal, or does the paladin just draw quickly enough? I think it comes down to whether they draw their Baleful Bank or not.
Yeah, they have 1 in their hand. They just need the other one.
Yeah,
and they need
there's 2 cards left.
Okay, and they need to get their deck all the way empty so that they can guarantee the 50 damage.
Yep.
So I wonder if this is a turn where you double bomb. Because that'll, a worst case, double bomb turns off the Zephyrus.
Yeah, getting those bombs ready. You haven't gotten the Rich Caliber, which feels awful, but I mean, at this point, you're a bomb warrior. You got to get to bombing at some point, right?
Yeah, you're running out of time because there's, like you said, if you can't get to 51 health, you're not going to survive the super combo anyway. All right, they're setting up the Eternium Rover. Yeah, they're setting up the Eternium Rover to try and... All right, there's the other True Silver.
Yep.
Okay. So everything For the Win has done has been pretty suspicious, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, this is not a bad time. Like, they're still going to be alive. They have a lot of health going for them. They might just actually be okay here. And maybe I'm just kind of overreacting, thinking that it's a real big race, but... I mean, there's no way to get armor. I think actually For the Win just might have lost this.
Yeah, For the Win wasn't able to pressure that life total nearly enough to allow a sort of bomb burst combo to win the game. Like you said, they missed their Wrench Caliber.
You could just Zephyrs right now and be style points, but I like this. Just go ahead and hold on to Zephyrs for twisting them.
Yeah, and there's no... The only... Okay, so For
and
the
this
Win
also
esports,
gets rid of some of the armor as well. Takes away hero power worth the bottom.
Yeah, and undoes the Eternium Rover. So the Eternium Rover.
I saw Boom for a second. And I thought that was the hero card. If that was the case, they would have outlived.
That would have helped a lot, gaining the 7 armor. And so okay, here we go. We're shuffling bombs. Zephyrus is disabled.
I think it's too late though.
Yeah, I mean if they draw. So here we go. Let's see. Oh, there's the Baleful Bank.
Oh,
so the last two
no.
cards. Last 2 cards. Wait, that also disrupts the Shirvala combo.
Yeah.
View Shirvala.
Yeah, they needed
Baleful
to
Bank,
draw the
Baleful
bomb.
Bank.
If they drew the bombs first, then it would have been fine. But they didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so now Shrink Ray Consecrate is going to come out. They know that they're about to draw 11 damage worth of bombs and fatigue.
Whew.
But that's not enough damage. And For the Win just can't find their Wrench Calibers, their other Elic, or their other...
They can't find their Dr. Boom.
Or their Dr. Boom. Because that would have pushed them up to 50 and potentially given them enough armor to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need 51.
They needed 51.
To survive the combo with no chip damage.
Yeah, but... Basically, if they drew that and they didn't get consecrated, they probably would have been fine, but yeah.
So it seems like this turn you just develop your Tomb Wardens, right? So that if you do get when you get comboed next turn, you can attach a Ziliax to it. I guess maybe you don't. Maybe you don't want Shirvala to be able to... Yeah, although there's no bombs. Oh no, there's 2 bombs. What am I saying?
There's 2 bombs, dude.
Yeah, we just saw 2 bombs.
Yeah. And then, like, your hero power.
Yeah. Is there any consideration for not allowing Shirvala to run into stuff? Because you heal them for 7 if you play anything. And so if you can do more than 7, then that's still worth your while. Okay, they're gonna go ahead and develop the 2 Wardens.
That's fine. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, heal to 45. But this is it. This is it. We're gonna go ahead and see that kill sequence. Get engaged.
Game 1 over For the Win Esports.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way that For the Win is able to deal enough damage. So here's the first 25 burst damage. Gonna come in, chip away all the armor, set them to 20. Actually, one of these Tomb Wardens will survive, and Warrior will survive. Ziliax magnetized on one of these will heal above 25, won't it? So, can For the Win get out of this game? Maybe they can.
Wait, why didn't they play the other Shirvala and Baleful Banker it?
Because I guess they'll just do it next turn. They'll Shirvala.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't make sense. I was thinking like, oh, let's kill a Tomb Warden, but
yeah, they didn't have.
Oh, and they got the Dr. Boom.
Okay, so they need to heal above 25, and
they will because Dr. Boom's hero, like the hero card, gets 7 armor.
Yeah, I think they may decide to Omega Devastator Ziliax this turn. Because they can Omega Devastator the Shirvala and then attach Ziliax to one of the Tomb Wardens. That'll heal them for 8. and put a huge taunt in the way, which will get Twisting Nethered. But then, like you're saying, the turn after that, they become Dr. Boom, and they will heal again for 7. They won't have a board though. But then again, neither will Nordavind. That'll take Nordavind's whole turn to Twisting Nether's board. Okay, here comes the Omega Devastator. And they have to decide how they want this magnetic to go. Okay, they're actually going to magnetize to the Omega Devastator to give it rush. Okay, so maximum stuff on board. They heal to 27, which means they survive the combo, and there's so much taunt in the way that Shrivala, or like this True Silver, can't go face. Wait a minute, is For the Win going to get there? Because, I mean, they're going to be low. They're going to have 2 hit points left. But Nordavind has no.
Wait, is there 2 damage for 1? Yes, a Soulfire!
There's a Soulfire. What am I saying? There's so many. The Arcane Shot would have done it. Soulfire would have done it.
Of course!
Of course.
I
Zephyrus
forgot
is
Hunter
every
Ace
card.
was playing.
Yeah, Zephyrus is every single basic and classic card. And there is 100% a card that gets through that.
Oh my gosh, I'm a dummy. I was like, wait, they don't have enough mana for this. They do have enough mana. Of course, what am I talking about? Nordavind is so calm, cool, and calculated.
Yeah, and Zephyrus, man, it's just it's one of the most, it just tests how much sort of, what would you say? It like how much your card familiarity with every card in the basic and classic set.
Really is.
Yeah, and their mana costs and their effects and all, and how that can work with your board.
Well, I mean,
So, yeah.
we're literally, this is a team that does Hearthstone for a living, Bill, so I'm hoping
Yeah.
that they know.
Yeah, they know. And this Paladin deck just seems so good when it's piloted by folks who are comfortable with it and experienced with it,
You mean like
Nordavind.
the world's best? Yeah.
like the world's best. And it's worth noting, this is the number 4 and the number 5 seed. And I think we talked about it a little bit at the top
Yeah,
of the
that
show.
is
But
true.
like this is For the Win had to beat, let me see if I can remember this. For the Win had to beat 7 Force Club, I believe, the number 12 seed, to get here. And then they get to face Nordavind, the defending champs. It's like, congratulations. For beating 7 Force Club, you get to play the folks who won last season.
Very true. The folks that won against you in Swiss.
Yep.
They were both 5-0 at that point, and then Nordavind was like, nope.
we would like
The
the playoffs, please.
Thank you.
And so it looks like, yeah, For the Win is going to go ahead and queue up their Malagos Druid. So it's going to be 2 combo decks battling against each other. For the Win is trying to get a super cheap Malagos and do a bunch of swipes and Moonfires and potentially duplicate all that with Elise. And then, you know, we've already seen Paladin's game plan, draw their whole deck and then hit you for 50 or potentially 54 in a single turn, or over the course of 2 turns. And here it is, the Falular special. I don't know if he's the one who invented this, but he's the one that turned me onto it.
Yeah, he turned me onto it too. But it makes a lot of sense. Wait, actually, he wasn't. Oh, no, it is. It is. What am I talking about?
Yeah, coin out the Crystal Merchant on turn 1. Turn 2, play the quest, and you get your card draw, and you have board initiative.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good merchant too. That's great.
Oh, yeah. All right, Untapped Potential coming online for the Win.
This is the big brain stuff.
Yeah, and so this is an interesting juncture. Do you pop the Divine Shield or not? You can hit them. You can hit Nordavind in the face if you like. It won't accomplish a whole lot because you know they're going to use their healing to draw.
Punch
Like
the
their
face
healing
on your
also
own
drops.
terms.
Yeah.
Because you could hero power next turn, still complete the quest, have the merchant still be alive, and get rid of the Khadgar.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if For the Win decides to, because they could if they wanted to. I mean, that obvious clearing Kangor is very important. You don't want to let him start generating value, but there's also the consideration for playing out your other Crystal Merchant and really getting your draw just scooting forward towards that combo, because you need to draw a couple of one-ofs in your deck. Malagos, one of. Dream Petal Florist, one of. Potentially at least the Enlightened, another one of. And potentially Flute, depending on how you'd like your combo to go. Okay, so they're gonna just fire up the draw. They're ready to. They'd like a handful of cards, please, and thank you.
Who wouldn't like a handful of cards?
Yeah, much better than having a handful of not cards.
That could be a lot of things, Bills, but I agree.
Yeah, like a handful of bees. Actually, good for the druid.
It's actually very good for Druid.
Yeah.
Even bumblebees. Bumblebees are adorable.
Yeah, there was. Oh wow.
I got scared.
Yeah.
This is good. This is really good prismatic, though.
Yeah, just going ahead. 4 mana, draw 2. You really just want to play all the draw you can.
Yeah. Speaking of draw, though, oh my gosh, these merchants are gonna live for a long time because it's going up a non-aggressive deck. Like this could be what evens up the score, Bill. I feel I'm feeling good about this quester. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and they haven't slowed down their quest at all. They've been able to draw 3 cards a turn.
I think they're gonna be done turn 5.
Yeah, I think you're right. They haven't had to miss a single turn.
Yeah. And actually, that Innervate is a good insurance policy that they can abuse turn 5 and actually do something with it. If they wanted to play a defender and then Innervate, they could still be done.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, I think they have to discard something this turn, don't they? Because if they have to play, because I think they have 8 cards in hand, and if they keep drawing 3, they need to spend all the way down to 7 this turn. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and play the Tempo Rush Lodi.
Wonder why they're playing the Lodi on Tempo. I suppose it's not going to get any value with the spell buff, which is why you keep that for the quest, but...
Yeah.
No harm, no foul, I suppose.
Yeah, and they had to play something.
No harm, no Falular?
No harm, no Falular.
Falular's playing in his top 8. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, we believe in you.
Correct.
Unbiasedly, though.
Yeah. Unbiasedly, we believe in you.
Totally neutrality. We believe in everybody.
Yeah, we do. We also believe in Corex Gaming. They're going to do well.
Yep. Nordavind, how do they draw this turn? They've seen Crystal Merchant. At this point, Crystal Merchant 1 and Crystal Merchant 2 are like Mana Tide totems that have gone completely out of control. And as a shaman guy, how do you feel when you get your Mana Tides just rolling for 4 turns?
Well, at some point I go like, okay, well that's enough. But also because like I'm saving up on the cards. But I mean, leaving these merchants alone have also been a problem for our friends at the For the Win Esports, because look at this hand.
It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a kid leaving the faucet on a tub on.
Yeah, how many buckets do we have? I'll find out in an hour.
Yeah, huh? I hope we have flood insurance.
Yeah, I thought we had more buckets than this. Gosh, actually, what do you have to play? So they have 10 cards in hand, right?
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, yeah.
Like I said, you could potentially Defender Innervate, and that would be a good play. I'm not a big fan of Ferocious Howl. I honestly felt like it would be a good idea to... Oh, well, I mean, they could kill
They're gonna wrath their own... They're gonna wrath their own merchant.
You've been drawing too long, kid. You served your purpose.
You have served your purpose.
No, I don't want to be
wait a minute.
1/1s.
Have you been an evil genius this whole time?
Yeah. I mean, Crystal Merchant's been running the Mafia.
Yeah. All right, so
Why didn't they kill the 1/3?
They spend their wrath they do 3 damage to their own 1/1, so they can spend down enough cards to not, because they cannot mill cards right now. They don't have their Malygos, Dream Petal, Florist, at least the Enlightened, or Floop.
I'm so weirded out by that turn. Like, I feel like you could interfate Defender and that would be fine and you wouldn't like overdraw, but I suppose
no, you would mill 1.
You would.
Yeah, because it's so much draw. It's like you were saying, the gas. That Mana Tide totem.
Shucks, you're right. The merchants are so annoying.
Someone put a brick on the gas pedal.
Yeah. Somebody actually just like crazy glued the bottom of the gas pedal and then pushed it, and then just like it's stuck there forever.
Oh no. So then they wrath to their own gas pedal. All right. Crystology, gonna allow them to draw out all of their 1-cost cards. Their 1-cost cards draw more cards and deal a crucial 1 damage, maybe. They're actually, Nordavind doesn't even want to clear this Crystal Merchant because they're like, oh, you can't play any of your cards? Drawing too many cards there, bud?
I'm thinking about this right now. I'm thinking about the combos. I'm thinking about how much they can armor in general. Let's see. Ferocious Howl. Is there a card that has a choose 1 gain armor?
There is not.
No. There is
No,
not.
because ever since branching paths rotated.
That is true.
But they can finally spend those defenders like you were talking about on previous turns. They can heal themselves with the hidden oasis and play out a 0 mana defender.
It really does. It does feel like that the win condition here is create enough invisible threats that you get the board cleared as much as you can, or create enough threats that like the board is. Attending Torrent would be so helpful here because you can go wide, and that would be just like enough pressure that they would go like, all right, we got board clear this, and then you're not wasting too much.
Oh yeah, and they agree. They're gonna go ahead and scoop up that Tending Torrent, and they're actually gonna spend all of their mana this turn, so Crystal Merchant won't draw.
Yeah, fair enough.
And because they're still sitting at 9, and you know, Oasis Surger is a host unto itself. Just a 5 mana 10/10 in stats.
It literally is.
Yeah, and then if it persists, you know, if Paladin chooses to disrespect it, if Nordavind chooses to ignore it, there's the threat of all the stuff that you can potentially get off Worthy Expedition. Tending Torrent, like we see, Cenarius wasn't offered, but if it was available. And so, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and see a Shrink Ray and pass, which means this Tending Torrent still works. You can still just give all these 1/1s +1/+1.
That's
+2
true.
+2? +1 +1.
+1/+1.
Yeah.
Cenarius is +2/+2.
That's right. That's right. I had Cenarius loaded up in my RAM.
Tending Torrent is like a diet Cenarius.
Right, but a little more slender.
Yeah.
Can't
get enough of your buffs, but need to dial down. Go for Torrent.
2 buff.
It like within like every +1/+1 is like 500 calories. So,
Yeah, you really just gotta watch those. You'll get huge if you're not careful.
Yeah. And then, like, if you really know go for the snack size stuff, you go for Titanic Lack.
Right.
But I like this a lot. I like the fact that they're buff, and they were so small that no green has shown up for the Oasis Searchers.
Yeah.
But yeah, you cannot like deny this. You can't like. You can't ignore it, fam. Like, you gotta do something, but, maybe... Ooh. You don't have to... Well, I mean, you could consecrate Wild Pyromancer, and that would clear off the majority of the board. You would still keep up the Tauren, but, I mean, 3 is better than 9 + 4 is 13.
Yeah. You could, if you wanted to full clear, you could Pyromancer consecrate Flash of Light. And that you would lose your Pyromancer, though, unless you cast Flash of Light on your Pyromancer.
I think you would cast your Flash of Light on your Pyromancer because you're really hoping for that High Priestess to basically just get you there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, and they're going to go ahead and get even more card draw instead. They're going to opt for Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah, speed up as much as you can. I agree with this. Mm-hmm. Equality coming off the top, and they're getting rewarded for that as well. That's a really good play from Nordavind.
And they're sitting with a what looks like a full hand of cards, but they can't play the Holy Wraths. They can't play well, it's not that they can't. They really don't want to play either Holy Wrath or their Baleful Banker. So it can be kind of deceptive with combo decks how many cards they actually have in hand, because so much of it is, you know, combo activators. Wow, Hidden Oasis is going to go ahead and heal that Tending Torrent. I'm back!
I'm alive!
Yeah, oh, I'm back to a 3-1.
Things happen, it's okay. I think, didn't they use their other Pyromancer earlier as well? No, that was last game.
Yeah, they used their Kangor already, so once they Thekal, their overall post-Thekal healing is going to be a little truncated, but...
Novice, Pyro again, Equality.
They need to find their other Pyro.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking Novice.
Yeah.
Or Flash Fly.
Okay, they're just going to go ahead and equality this board.
Yep, take the 9, eat it. Maybe Flash of Light. Oh, this was another way of handling, I guess. Prismatic, Shirala's still in the deck. I still hate when it happens.
Yeah. Looks like they're considering High Priest Thekal Flash of Light or maybe the true silver champion to clear off one of these 3/1s.
I like High Priest with Flash of Light. I think you need to start drawing as much as you can, and this is a great turn to draw.
Yeah, because it's the druid is going to keep on. Druid is able to both pressure you on board and to draw towards its Malagos combo.
The other Baleful, double draw. Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, interesting.
Sure. Yeah. That's fine. Ideally you would want to keep. There's not much healing left except for the True Silvers, and the Kengar is gone, so it's like the Priestess doesn't have as much value as it once did.
Yeah. All right, a big draw turn now coming in from For the Win Esports, and Oasis Surger is going to clear off this thing and send all 9 of that previous board downtown.
Flash of Light.
Second Flash of Light.
5 cards remaining in the deck. They are so close. They have no timeouts as well, I just realized.
Yeah, it seems like they need to draw for a timeout. I mean, 2 out of 5. The reason their Zephyrs isn't live is
they're
both
dead if they
timeouts still in
don't
their
finish
deck.
this. Because they have swipe in hand.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, there's lethal. So yeah, 10, 19 damage. 19 damage available on the board, plus the swipe in hand, plus the double Moonfire.
Yeah, that's if stuffing is cleared with no Hammer of Wrath. You flash the light timeout, True Silver, and then you just hope for the best.
Yeah, and if you miss your timeout here...
Oh, that's
wow.
still pretty good, though. Is there any spells that you can play with it? You can play Pyromancer Prismatic Lens, and that would clear up 9 of the damage. It's something you have to do. You cannot ignore it.
Yeah, because you're dead on you're not dead on board right now, but it's close. You gotta find one of those timeouts.
And Zephyrs isn't online.
Zephyrs is, yeah, if they can't find one of these, so bottom 4, both timeouts, bottom 4,
yeah,
bricking the Zephyrs and
Shirvala.
Okay.
There's Shirvala.
Wait, the timeout's gonna be 25 mana.
Oh no, but they're gonna be alive. That's the important part. Not the worst thing.
For the Win is gonna go ahead and start comboing. And is this lethal? Oh, this is lethal damage. They just win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 12 and 10. That's 22.
Damn it! Why can't we count?
Wow, that was so. And when your timeouts, so that their Zephyrs was inactive because both copies of timeouts in the bottom 4 cards of the deck, and that is not how that's supposed to go, right?
No.
You're not, that is with the amount of draw, with the amount of like card specific draw, because Prismatic Lens is guaranteed to draw a spell. Crystology is guaranteed to draw 1 cost or one attack creatures.
If it's not one thing, it's always the other.
And so, but yeah, somehow they managed to just miss, like Shirvala, both timeouts, bottom 5, I think, bottom 6.
It's bottom 4.
And yeah, well when they prismatic. Oh, that's right. So yeah, bottom 5. Yeah, somewhere in there. It's way too late, right?
Yeah, late. TLDR. That was a long frickin' time. But all right, here we go. We're gonna go for that good old Quest Druid Mirror, but this is not Quest Druid Mirror because this is, I believe, Nordavind's running the Fiora Cenarius combo. And
no, actually, they've switched to Malagos.
They've got Malagos. Okay.
Yeah, this is a Malagos Mirror.
You know what? I'm all for it. I love watching this. Honestly, I like Quest Druid Mirrors more than Control Warrior Mirrors. I know Control Warrior Mirrors, there's a lot of possibilities to play out because you can discover a lot of things, but with Quest Druid, it gets done really, really quickly, and then you just see how both deal with the resource management. And that's something fascinating to me, is how do you manage your resources? What do you say for board clear? What do you say for face? And how much pressure can you produce?
Yeah, and both of them are going to be racing towards
Are they
Malagos.
about to be done with their quests? I'm sorry, hold on. I gotta see this real quick.
They're getting close.
Nordavind's about to be done next turn. Oh my gosh, they're about to be done.
Oh yeah, because they had the coin.
These teams are so good.
Yeah, and both decks are going to be trying to stave off the other deck, drawing for their combo, unless they see an opportunity, like you're saying, to like build out a board and then just. You don't have to combo, right? Even though there is there's like a multifaceted OTK combo inside both of these Druid decks. You're not required to use it. You can just get a couple of Oasis Surgers to stick around on the board and just
Defenders, discover
build
some
them.
things, get the Tauren up if you did want to discover that. Like, yeah, I love this version of Questry because it can be aggressive. Like, it almost feels like Tempo Druid in a way.
Yeah, but like a late starting Tempo Druid because nothing happens till the quest. But man, once that quest is complete,
Yeah.
insane board tempo
Just
swings.
or just like I don't know, a druid that can play both ways. It can either be super aggressive or super defensive, and it's just like you have so many ways of trading or presenting a threat. So basically, at this moment, the initiative is going to be pretty much in For the Wind's favor, and basically now Nordavind has to go like, okay, how do we respond to this? How do we respond to that? It depends on what they want to do. At the moment, there's an Oasis Surger, but that's about it. I mean, they could play that now and get rid of the merchant.
Yeah, that's tough because they will complete their quest this turn, right? Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and swipe just to go ahead.
Oh, what am I thinking? I thought they were done with the quest. My bad.
No, Nordavind, they finished. Even though, as you know, both teams finished the quest as fast as they possibly could, and but Nordavind is going to have the opportunity to play their first quest complete card first, right? They get the first opportunity to play like their big, either like combo Nourish or combo Oasis Surger. So it's going to be a 1-for-1. So much damage just happened. That was like a 20 points of health and damage for one card from both teams.
So much
just
stuff
smashing
happened.
into each other. Interesting to note the differences between the decks, because the Nordavind list is actually running Floop's Glorious Gloop and Zephyrus the Great, whereas For the Win Esports is not. And it looks like For the Win Esports is playing instead a second copy of Hidden Oasis and something else. Oh, and the Worthy Expedition. Looks like Nordavind is not playing any copies of Worthy Expedition. I'm sorry. Worthy Expedition. The get to discover a choose one card. So For the Win, going to go ahead and draw and ramp their mana this turn, looking for more of their combo pieces, and as well as getting ready to empty out some of these cards. We've seen in the past there's a lot of like 5 and 6 mana cost cards that can make. It just kind of takes a while to play out your hand.
Yep.
You can only, Hidden Oasis takes up most of a turn. The Nourish, even though it refunds you some of the mana, can just be tough to play if you're under threat. Neither of these druids have really put each other under much threat yet that the other druid couldn't answer. So they both have some time to sort of power up and get ready.
Lodi, it's a little bit of a threat, just because I think they're using the stealth and taking advantage of that. Just because if anything is developed, it's easier to trade with. So they're going to use Worthy Scenarius. That's pretty good. Another Oasis Searcher's not a bad choice either.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and cycle an Innervate for trade an Innervate for a card draw. Just speed up that quest acquisition process even more.
And come on, Dr. Boom needs to keep back their original pair of socks.
Oh yeah. Tell everybody about the.
So there's a little bet going on. I think this is known without the community, or like at least in the EU HS community. That basically, apparently, I don't know if this was at one of the master tours or something, but like basically, Zork wants Dr. Boom's socks. So basically, he's like, "I'm coming for your socks," and it's like, okay. And then one Swiss and it's like send me your. It's like Dr. Boom's like, all right, give me your dress for your socks. So now, now that they're meeting up again, Dr. Boom, or AKA For the Win Esports, is fighting to keep back their socks.
Yeah, so there's more than just prestige on the line. There's also a pair of socks, and it's chilly. It's starting to get chilly. I would assume.
Yeah, it's getting to be fall.
Yep.
I'm sure Europe has winter.
Yeah. I think you are
correct.
correct.
I don't know how cold Portugal gets.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where For the Win is. But I'm sure, Bucharest is coming up, and I'm sure Romania gets winter.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
for sure.
so you definitely want those socks for Bucharest. And I think Dr. Boom qualified, so.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh, that's right. I think he did. Yeah.
Good for Dr. Boom. Yeah, so basically War for Socks.
War for socks.
What is it good for? A new pair of socks.
A new pair of socks.
All right, well, so meanwhile, Bills, while we're talking about socks, there is maybe a game going on, but it really does feel like one is building a sandcastle and then kicking it down, and the other one is doing vice versa for revenge.
Yeah, just no one gets a sandcastle.
Nobody does.
And For the Win has a couple of choices this turn. They have the extra Oasis Surger that they picked up off Worthy Expedition that they can play down to clear both of these Anubisath defenders. But they'd also like to, if they can, get more towards their Malagos combo, because we see the Dream Petal Florist is now in hand. That's that 7-cost card there on the side of the hand, right side. And so now they need to set up a situation where where they can get that Dream Petal discount on Malagos. All right, we're gonna go ahead and see a Starfall used to clear out one defender. Yeah.
And they wrote it.
All right, and so it looks like they're gonna go ahead and play out their defender as well as the Oasis Surger to get some of these cards out of their hand, and also Oasis
Didn't get
Surger.
the merchant.
Oh yeah, that's right. Leaving up the merchant is not what they wanted to do. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. They wrote. I was like, why didn't they kill the merchant? They might have run out of time there.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tough decision to make because really they're just like trying to play around this Lodi because they don't want to leave too much on the board because the spell buff will just handle everything. But this flip is going to be great.
All right. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and see Starfall clear off. Not only clear off both of these Oasis Surges, but also it's going to refund 2 mana to Nordavind. And so we're going to see... actually, so this turn, Nordavind can, if they want to, activate their Lodi, play Hidden Oasis. So that was what was that, like a 15 mana turn?
Something like that.
Yeah, they're able to...
Something that we didn't think would actually happen in Hearthstone's time, but it did anyways.
Yeah, you used to need a twig of the world tree if you want to do something like that. Not anymore. You just need some gloop. Put some gloop on it.
Yeah. A little bit of gloop goes a long way.
Yeah. All right, Dream Petal Florist, potentially the play here with Malagos coming into hand. It's a coin flip as to whether it'll hit Floop or Malagos. But if it hits Malagos, then all of a sudden your Malagos only costs 2 mana. Although we did see earlier in the game, For the Win spent one of their swipes in order to clear out a Crystal Merchant on the side of Nordavind. So their combo...
So many contradictions.
Let's see, so they don't... Running in their deck, they don't have the ability to 2 mana Malagos, double swipe, double Moonfire. But they have other ways to increase the amount of damage that their combo does. All right, 0 mana Phlebidinous Floop. Now available for the Win Esports, and Nordavind is going to decide how they remove this Dream Petal Florist. Dream Petal Florist is another one of those cards you just can't let it proc twice.
Yep.
It's for those of you who have been playing since BlackRock, you'll remember the I Have the Power of Ragnaros guy. Wow, it's legendary. And this is gonna drive me crazy until I can remember. What his name is. 6 mana 5/5, and at the end of a turn it discounts your whole hand.
What?
Crap. This talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What is this? What are you talking about?
There's a card that's been rotated to wild, and
Time waits for no one.
Immediately when it hits wild, I'm just like, Lich who?
yeah, Emperor Thorsan, that's the guy. Emperor Thorsan.
Okay.
Yeah. They're actually going to ignore the Florist. That is a bold strat. Nordavind looks like they're going to... Okay, so they went ahead and played out their own Malagos. It's worth noting that Malagos is also just a 4/12 that demands the respect of the other team. Because they have double swipe, double Moonfire in hand already. As well as a Phlebidinous Flute.
Oh,
Wait,
are
has
they
Nordavind
dead?
won this game? Nordavind's won this game.
No.
Yeah, because they have a 4-mana Malagos in their hand,
Right.
and they've managed to get For the Win all the way down to 24.
But looking for the win, they could play Ferocious Howl and clear the board.
Can they clear this Malagos?
They can at least clear this Lodi, or at least a well,
Because there's going to be 2 Malagis on board.
is that enough with 32 health?
Yeah, because each Moonfire is going to deal 11. And let's see, let me do this. So it's 14, 11, and 11. That's 36 damage.
Oh, yikes! Yeah. And then if
Oh, and they can add on Thalnos.
yeah, if you,
That
if you didn't
increases
have
it.
enough.
Yes, that's 39 damage.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow. Oh,
Bills,
no,
I'm gonna leave you the counting now in our partnership.
that's I mean, this deck is super fun to play, but knowing all the different breakpoints of like your spells and your spell damage and like how everything interacts with Forbiddeness Loop in particular, because a 4-mana Malagos is ridiculous. Even if you don't manage to land your discount or anything, you can just play Malagos on board. Your Floop turns into Malagos, and then that opens up so many possibilities for you to throw all your burn. And it looks Nordavind wins the race. Nordavind gets there and puts For the Win Esports on their OTK Paladin. And this OTK Paladin needs to win 2 in a row.
I must protect.
And against Nordavind's Malagos combo druid, as well as Nordavind's control warrior.
Ugh.
Yep. That's now we've seen this OTK Paladin do incredible things, and I'm sure For the Win has put plenty of reps into their specific list, for example, because their list is a little different. Also, they're not running Zephyrus the Great in theirs, and they're also they've made they're also not running an Acolyte of Pain, instead running 2 copies of Equality and 2 copies of Hammer of Wrath. So just more 2-ofs. Hopefully, the result for the Win is that their deck experience is much more consistent. Valular special. Nordavind coins out Crystal Merchant. Whenever I see this happen, it just makes me deliriously happy now. So I was like, ha! Look at that.
It's like, clever efficiency. Yes.
Yes. Board initiative and uninterrupted quest completion and additional card draw.
Yes,
mind if I do.
please.
Yeah.
Reporting for duty.
And so yeah.
While these guys are building up, because it's going to be a little bit slow, I just wanted to report the games that have happened off stream. Epic Esports 3-0'd Nox. So Nox is out of the competition, making it top 8. Thank you to Nox for playing. And unfortunately, Korax has ended their run as well. They were beaten by attack mode 3-0 and will be not moving on. And unfortunately, that means that is the end for Korax indefinitely, as unfortunately the org is shutting down. So thank you to Korax very much for playing in this for the past 2 seasons, and they have been a super awesome organization. And I wish nothing but the best for the players. I know the Benelux scene is very well and tight-knit, so I wish them all the best.
Yeah, and that's got to be tough. They came in the 3rd seed. It did Korax Gaming. I'm sure they would prefer to have made it deeper. But I mean, this is where the competition. You're dealing with the top 12 teams.
This is where we draw the line, Bills.
Yep, line in the sand.
Line in the sand.
Yeah.
Separate the players from the players.
Yep, the players from the played. And again, totally unbiased. Great to see attack mode continue onward. Their run continues.
If anybody, I'm surprised you're saying if not to be biased as that. I think I should say that more because I'm the owner of the team.
Well, I mean, that's I want your team to win.
Well, I appreciate that, Bill. That's super sweet of you. But I'm no.
Plus Valular showed me the coin crystal merchant thing.
Oh yeah, I guess so. There's some sentimental value to it. Just with Equestrian. Alright, well speaking of Equestrian, they're almost done here.
Yeah, both of these decks have been able to successfully you know, neither one of these decks is a high pressure early game.
This is
They're both just
terrible hand.
powering up. for which one?
For the win.
Yeah, they've been able to draw some cards.
They have.
And they're sitting with a couple of pairs, which is not, you know, they don't need. Like, at least they'll be able to cycle their Hammers of Wrath, right? Like at least they can use that to keep pushing their draw forward. And hitting a Crystology is great. So if Druid isn't able to put them under some more pressure, and the Druid's quest is still not complete, right? So if Druid's not going to be able to develop a ton of pressure this turn, unless they want to, you know, spend out a Oasis Surger or something just to put 6/6 on the board. If they go for the 2/2/3/3 bodies, we might see another just tempo Lodi, just another 4/2 Lodi on the board. Something to make Paladin think about. Something to prevent Paladin from just drawing cards with no regard for, without looking left or right first.
Well, they gotta complete the quest first to make Lodi any bit of a threat, because that stealth is just basically like the Paladin can't target it. They're just like, huh, we gotta use everything.
Yeah, gotta. It'll like it. Yeah, hope that eventually it'll get swept up. Interesting. Huh. Well, I guess, you know,
Early
Nordavind
the
is not
threat,
happy with
the
their
better.
hand. Yeah, they're not happy with their hand, and I guess they don't need the spell power in this matchup because it's a bunch of 1/1s and 1/3s. Until Shrivala comes out, there's nothing with more than 3 health in the entire list. Yeah. They don't need to worry about powering up their board clears. I guess they just really want to get their draw going. Find their combo and hopefully combo first. Because once For the Win Esports gets set up at the end of the game, they can time out, which makes Malygos combos irrelevant. All right, so we're going to go ahead and see For the Win Esports hit the draw. See what else they can find. Their own Thalnos. There's going to be 3 Thalni on this board, potentially.
That's
Thalnoses.
Oh man, I don't think there's enough vengeance to be going around with all the Thalnos.
Yeah, I'm very hungry for vengeance.
We hunger for vengeance. No, I'm hungrier. No, I'm hungry.
I'm hungriest for vengeance. I'm a 3/4. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get a what's almost a tempo Kangor. just to go ahead and get it on the board. But it also requires the attention of Nordavind. Like, Nordavind would prefer that this Kangor not stay on the board for turn after turn. And if they have to waste 2 attacks, you know, if they want to play this Oasis Surger, for example, they will have to send 1/2 of the Oasis Surger into this 1/2. And then they also have to decide if they want to clear this Thalnos. Looks like they're making motions too. Yeah, okay.
Fantastic.
For the Win Esports picks up a Flash of Light as well as a Subdue. And it seems like it might be time to let these hammers. Oh, they only have 7 mana. For some reason, I thought this was turn 8. That's just patently untrue. 4 + 4 is also not 7. So if they do Hammer of Wrath, they have to do something else with the rest of their 3 mana.
Exist, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I mean,
Maybe
you can Hammer of
subdue
Wrath.
one of them.
Oh yeah, you can Hammer of Wrath one, subdue the other.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what else you'd want to subdue necessarily. That I like that. Drives the cost of your future Shrivala down by that 2 mana. Gets it out of your hand so you can draw with your other
6
your other draw
altogether,
effects. Yeah. Yeah, and it's right. It basically heals you for 4. 2 mana heal for 4.
I like that.
Let's see, what other stuff could they do? If they wanted to, they could go ahead and toss out a Shrink Ray.
Yeah, I
And
like
then-
doing that when there's Pyromancer around, though.
Yeah, okay, so they're going to draw with Novice Engineer. Oh, they're actually going to Novice Engineer Shrink Ray this turn.
Yeah, alright.
Okay.
I just
okay.
don't like it because, like, the reason why I don't like it without Pyromancer is because you could just run into something that could just buff the hands easily with, like, a Worthy Expedition or something, and then basically that Shrink Ray would be all for naught because, like, we saw it with we saw it last time, actually, with Tending Tardan, just sort of, like, buffing the Oasis Searchers to 2/2, and, you know, that was still threatening enough.
Yeah, and this is probably some recognition from For the Win that Nordavind is not playing any copies of Worthy Expedition in their list. And they're actually not playing any board buffs in their list.
Oh, okay.
Though worth mentioning, that's one of the very few ways you can actually deal with a stealth Lodi, like we were talking about. Because it's just like a Pyromancer Nova, and Lodi gets swept up in that. You know, even though she's invisible, it's just like, no, I'm invisible. Blast wave. Blast wave hits everything. Blast wave doesn't care if you're invisible.
Time waits for no one.
And it's gonna be a 0 mana 3/5 turn. It looks like gonna go ahead and try to throw that out. And now that they've seen the Shrink Ray, just like you're saying, Shrink Ray is a resource that's been expended. Lodi's much safer to throw on the board now, and potentially build some alternative super combo. Because now +1 spell power that's very difficult to take off the board if you don't have Pyromancer Shrink Ray or Pyromancer Equality. And For the Win Esports would love to be able to throw these Hammers of Wrath at Lodi, but Lodi is not targetable.
Not here right now. Can't see you.
Yeah.
Not seeing you.
Nobody here but us empty boards.
Yeah, that's right. If you can't see me, I can't see you.
Yep. And I'm not here. This is a voice in your head.
Yeah, that's right. Please leave a message of the tone. Thanks.
Beep.
Yeah.
It's just someone who says beep.
Hi. Yeah, it's like, hi, this is Lodi. Sorry I can't make it to the board right now. I'm out to lunch. Leave a message of the tone. By the way, please don't have any twisting nethers.
Yeah. Tone.
Tone. It's not even.
Oh,
beep.
crap. Beep.
Beep.
Must move quickly.
All right. Hammer of Wrath draws the other Holy Wrath. Flash of Light draws
Baleful Banker.
the other Baleful Banker.
Yeah,
Okay. And now we're
subdue.
gonna
Subdues.
very subdued.
Yes. Ooh.
Oh, so here's one of the things, because we were talking a little bit about Zephyrus the Great and combo decks. It's kind of awkward because sometimes, especially in this situation, you don't want to hit Zephyrus with the -7 mana reduction.
Yep.
So we're actually going to see Tempo Zephyrus into a guaranteed 2 mana Malygos,
That's
which,
fine.
yeah, this is lethal damage, I think.
Yes,
that'll
but
be...
there is a timeout, and there's no Pyromancer. They don't really have any way to draw into anything that would allow them to keep enough mana for the Pyromancer combo of anything. And maybe if they make the Pyromancer cheap enough, but that's like roughly a shot in the dark there. That in the
Yeah. For the Win has to time out, or they have to heal. Otherwise, because right now Nordavind has 24 damage in burn, so taunts will not do it. They need to heal, and actually they must time out because otherwise they'll just take a bunch of board damage, like you're saying. So because they can't clear the board without their Pyromancer, and none of these cards look like a wild Pyromancer to me.
Move quick. I wonder.
So yeah, they either need to heal and clear the board, which they can't do, or they need to time out, which they can do. All right, the other Hammer of Wrath is going to go ahead and draw. If this is not... Oh, it is a Pyromancer. Okay, so they're going to Flash of Light, time out.
get both Pyromancers.
Nice. Okay.
I wonder why. Maybe if there was a world where they hammered a Wrath to Lodi and then Consecrate, because that would have gotten at least majority of the board out of the way and left the Florist.
Oh yeah. I guess they didn't know if there's a Floop in hand that would allow for a Malygos Floop combo that
Just
would do
food for
even
thought.
more damage. But yeah, definitely worth thinking about for sure. All right, so Nordavind's just gonna draw cards, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw out this Crystal Merchant. Do they need to discard Innervate as well? I guess I don't have to count. They will tell me through their play. Yes, they would like to spend their Innervate. All right, and so now For the Win Esports, once again in a similar situation where they must clear the board. But now, like you were noting, they have both Pyromancers. Although they don't have their equalities. They have neither equality, and they've spent one of their Shrink Rays. If they don't clear this board, they need to time out again. Do they have? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They do have a consecration. That's right.
Would get rid of majority, but they would be still dead because it's like swipe, Malagos, swipe, swipe, boom, fire, boom, fire.
Yeah, and now this Malagos costs 0.
So they are good to go.
Yeah. So For the Win must time out again.
And wait to die.
Yeah.
I don't
How many
know what
cards
they
do
can
they
do.
have? Yeah. How many cards do they have left?
They have 6.
6. Oh my gosh.
So 2 true silver champions. Maybe they're Zephyrs.
They cut their Zephyrs.
Right, they're the one
Yeah.
that cut their Zephyrs.
Yeah. So they're gonna prismatic lens. There's
That's
Shrivala.
helpful. Equality there.
Equality's unplayable. They need to. I assume they're gonna Crystology timeout.
Maybe consecration because you can clear the board.
They ran out of mana.
Whoops.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a timeout, and Nordavind is happy to wait at the door as long as they don't die, and they're currently sitting at over 1 combo's worth. So even in their mind, even if For the Win goes for a Hail Mary, Holy Wrath, rip Shrivala for 25, they are totally safe sitting at a 40 right now. They know it has to be a double combo out of the Paladin, and so they can just chill again. They can just chill for another turn.
There, it's me, spell damage.
Yeah, and they're actually going to go ahead and play out this Anubis Hath Defender so that the Dream Petal Florist hits Elise. So if for some reason this game continues and Nordavind needs to be able to double 0 mana Malagos, quadruple swipe, quadruple Moonfire,
Heaven forbid.
they can. Yeah. They're going to go ahead, wrath their own Crystal Merchant. Just to keep drawing.
Stop drawing, dude.
And, okay. So they can 0 mana Elise the Enlightened, double 0 mana Malagos, and still double swipe quadruple Moonfire in a single turn, which is just unbelievable amounts of damage. And they've seen both timeouts already. So I'd say it's pretty safe to say that Nordavind has won this game. They just need to, yep. Yeah. Because that was insane.
It was insane. Well, there you go. That is going to be Nordavind taking this series 3-1. And unfortunately, no socks were obtained.
Man. So the socks stay in Nordavind's clubhouse? I assume they're just like nailed to a wall.
They're next to the trophy case.
Right. It's like all the things that all of our
DreamHack, ACT championships, worlds, pair of socks from Dr. Boom.
House Rivalry Season 2 and pair of socks from Dr. Boom.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, kudos to For the Win. They definitely tried their best, and they were certainly amazing. But yeah, Nordavind brought that fire, man. What can we say? It's just that Questra gets it done. Questra is a really strong deck, and there's just, if you do not have a way, like, basically, if you can't outrun Questra will always outrun you, no matter what.
Yeah, especially if you don't, if in a format like this where you get to ban out their priest.
Yeah.
Right. If you know you don't have to battle against a priest, then the only thing you're really worried about is stuff that pressures you on the board early. And we saw the Zoo ban.
Yep.
As an interesting side effect of For the Win not bringing a, eminently bannable priest. Nordavind was able to set up their Quest Druid, their Quest Malagos Super Combo Druid, really put it in a good position just in a matchup standpoint.
It really did. It really did. And honestly, I gotta say, like, just good job overall. Really well done from both teams. It was a great series to watch. And you know what, Bills? I think I want to cast one more series with you. I think we need to do another one. Well, technically we already have that pre-scheduled, so we can't make it like a surprise. But either way, we do have Stage 5 Gaming versus Swagoi Gaming. Swagoi Gaming, the team that was always there since Season 1, never made it past the Swiss, now is number 2.
Yeah, the number 2 seed.
That's crazy. And then it's up against Stage 5 Gaming, a team that recently just came in Season 3 and is making just sweeping motions across the board. So we'll see who wins. Is it going to be the fellow Germans from Stage 5 Gaming, or is it going to be the impressive UK team with the Ukrainian phenomenon? I don't know. I was trying to make something cool. Don't worry about that. The amazing Swagoi Gaming and the amazing Stage 5 Gaming are about to happen very soon after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in about let's just say 10 minutes. See you soon.
Sounds good. See you soon.
Live.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the House Rivalries Playoffs. We're in the top 8. This time I'm joined by I just double clutched myself. Falular.
Yeah. Falular, whatever. Hey guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the southeast United States. We're gonna call it Falular. That would be that's sort of the accent of my people.
Sounds legit.
First of all, congratulations on you. You already have 2 wins coming into the playoffs, into the top 12. So you successfully defeated Gamers Origins and Corax Gaming.
Yeah, it was a really good set of games. Feel really good about it. Everybody was really supportive. Everybody brought their A game. So yeah, looking forward to see who I'm going to play against. Right, so we're going for stage 5.
That's right. And whoever wins this gets the privilege of battling you in the semifinals.
Yep. Good luck to them, right? Good luck to them.
That's right. And speaking of stuff that they will bring to battle you, what do you want to take us through the decks and bands?
Yeah, sure. So we have stage 5 gaming. They brought Aggro Warrior, a very intriguing type of warrior. You don't see it quite often, but it does counter a couple of decks in the meta. It's pretty good against aggro, like the other warriors, but it's way better against Druid, and it should be, I think, favored against Zoo, which is like an interesting type of warrior, right? Because it counters a deck that's good against Control Warrior while still maintaining that anti-aggro vibe.
Probably why it was banned. Yeah.
I'm just saying it.
Yeah,
the fact that it got banned is really good. So then they have the Quest Shaman, Quest Druid with Nomi and Scenario, so we don't have Horus there. Zoo Warlock on the other side. We get the Priest ban, which makes a lot of sense. With the Murloc Shaman, not a Quest Shaman, Control Warrior and Quest Druid without Nomi and with Horus instead.
Yeah,
pretty much the best decks in the meta again. Arguably Warrior is not the aggro warrior, but I think it's a very smart bring. I think stage 5 are slightly ahead just because of that. I really like what the aggro warrior does against all of these decks here. It should be pretty good against Warrior, should be pretty good against Murloc Paladin.
Yeah, and for our first game,
looking forward. Sorry.
Yeah, well, it's I mean, this is a matchup straight off the ladder, at least in my experience, with Quest Druid against Quest Shaman. Just 2 decks that would like to power up in the early game, but the Quest Shaman is more able to do stuff while it's powering up, whereas the Druid kind of has to intentionally anti-curve itself for a couple of turns.
Yes, the Druid has a small hindrance, but it's pretty small. The Druid is a massive favorite in this matchup, and the Shaman really needs to get that juicy board as early as possible if it wants to contest the Druid on turn 5 or 4.
Yeah, once that Druid powers up, going into turn 5, turn 6, super nourish, super starfall, super sarfall. That's not a word. That's not neither of those words.
I think your native words are excellent.
That's right. Falular, starfall, swap.
So,
but yeah, we actually see both questing explorers already available for stage 5, allowing them to power up their quest and draw, and get a River Crocolisk. It's not nothing.
That's not nothing at all. It's even it's a pretty awkward board, right? The Swagoi doesn't have a coin here. Even if they had a coin, would they really use it, or an innervate, right, to Starfall? They don't get to develop the quest that way. Very awkward turn for them. They're probably just going to hero power the 2/1 here.
So many
I don't see a better play.
Is there any consideration for taking the Lackey off to? I mean, obviously we can see that there's weaponized Wasp. Is that on your mind at all if you're Swagoi Gaming?
I think it should be on their mind, but you're not afraid of getting smorked yet, just because you have that Starfall to lean on next turn. So instead of going for playing around Wasp, I just go for getting rid of the maximum amount of tempo on board.
Yep, makes sense. And there's they're going to do just that. And
Yeah,
so actually, wow, stage 5 is just going to go ahead and pitch this burn. It looks like. Well, thinking about pitching this burn face immediately.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see the Starfall here. I don't think they can linger on that because they can develop that 3-5 taunt straight afterwards.
Yeah, and it's worth deferring your quest for a turn if you get to stay alive. It's tough to use the rewards of having completed your quest if you are dead.
Yeah, but they're going to face a massive problem. Like they can choose actually to hero power again and take that 8 damage next turn. Maybe even throw in the Zephyrus just so it can test an extra minion. I think that could be a very nice foresight from Swagoi, because they do have a hand that doesn't back up on that Starfall.
Yeah, and they really, wow, they're actually leaning towards his power of the wild, it looks like, to just get a 3-2 and then hero power, like you're saying, to take some of the pressure off the board. Because they would really like to be able to
And
Starfall and or Nourish next turn, I would assume. If they can just get there, they want to get that quest complete so they can Super Starfall into Super Nourish.
And they're also valuing that Hail Mary Zephyrus, which means they are optimistic. They're thinking to themselves, okay, we're really behind here. We want to get ahead. The best way for us to do that is to just hope we stay alive for that Zephyrus play at some point in the future. They prefer having that Hail Mary moment rather than having a more consistent, better card.
Yeah, and they are... So Swagoi Gaming has their quest complete, but they are under the gun, and now Starfall is not enough.
No, you own up to it, man. You own up to your background and heritage.
Starfall or Star. I tried to say Starfire and Starfall at the same time. That wasn't even. I can't even blame that on the region. That's just me trying to say 3 words at the same time.
It's beautiful.
Please, you flatter me.
That's Starfall for sure here. Yeah, it clears just 2 minions. It feels bad, but they have to. They're dying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and develop a 3-5 taunt behind it in an effort to stay alive and actually get these nourishes online.
And they're really close to being dead here. You can double up on that life drinker if you so wish. You can also double down on the Lackey generator and the Sandstorm elemental, but of course if you do that you go for the Lackeys first.
Oh, even more.
These are amazing.
Yeah. Gosh, with the quest complete, a 1 mana deal 4 is incredible.
You set up lethal here pretty much. You just send that Goblin Lackey into the 3-1 because that trades the least amount of extra damage into the 3-5, which is 0, and then you just play that Lackey and you set up lethal for next turn.
Yeah, and this 5 is going to go ahead and connect face. Oh, they're going to hold it.
That's fine as well because you can play that with Life Drinker.
Yeah,
I would play it just because, maybe they do something and, like healing themselves or what ifs.
Yeah, this turn, Swagoi Gaming, well aware that, Quest Shaman is one of those decks that can absolutely switch to a burn plan, just through some of the cards we've seen already, generating Kobold Lackeys, Life Drinkers, Barista Lynching, allowing you to bounce all that burn back to your face, double it up again.
Yep.
And
that boss we were talking about, right? You asked me if they should play around it. They chose not to play around it and they get burned. I don't think it would have mattered much. But I mean, look at that burst potential from Shaman. It's turn 6 and they have set up lethal. And it's a quest deck. It's not an aggro deck.
Yeah. And it's one of the things we've seen time and again. Druid is so low tempo in the early games that even decks, it's like you were saying, it's a quest deck. It's not exactly like an early tempo aggro kind of deck, but even a bunch of 1/1s, 1/3s, 2/3s is able to generate enough chip damage to where that was a big burst turn on 7 mana. Right? 7 mana was enough to deal, 10 damage, 10 burst damage from hand.
Yeah, 10 burst damage, and that's a very bold cue from stage 5. They went for that quest Shaman, which isn't amazing against 2 of Swagoi's decks. Actually, it's not amazing against the 3 remaining decks from Swagoi. It's not amazing against Murloc Shaman, not amazing against warrior. Arguably favored now if you know how to play it correctly because of the value, but still, it's not amazing against anything. So I guess that's why they queued it, right? Because it's the most expendable.
Yeah, and if
And they have a win
and
against
there are, oh for sure, and there are
Super
folks who
better.
swear by the Quest Shaman. It's like, I think it was Zalay was saying like Quest Shaman, best Shaman, and he will put down an argument for Quest Shaman in pretty much any matchup. He just
I really tend
loves
to
it.
agree.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like it's going to be the Control Warrior coming out of Swagoi to go up against this Quest Shaman. So what are you looking for as the Control Warrior?
You're looking for an early curve. I think the Brawl is probably not going to be kept, but the Snip Snap definitely is, because the benefit of coining a Snip Snap on a 1/3 Eternium Rover is just too big.
Oh yeah,
They do
they're
keep the
actually,
Brawl though, which is peculiar.
that's
Peculiar
interesting.
is a strange word.
Yeah,
It's a peculiar word.
it's in its own definition. The sound of peculiar is peculiar. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go.
Regional accent.
Yeah, peculiar.
Peculiar.
Yeah. Yeah, opting to keep the Brawl instead of increasing their chances of hitting arguably some of the best one drops in the game in the form of Eternium Rover and Town Crier.
I'm not sure I like it. I really like the Snip Snap on coin, but the thing is, if you decide to go with keeping the Snip Snap, then you should maximize your chances of getting that Eternium Rover. So I'm not sure I approve of the Brawl keep.
And so this turn is sort of an awkward turn one. Your choices are, Omega Assembly on one or Coin Flunky.
Yeah. What a great top deck as well. It's so awkward to play the Flunky into that, and it's also the one Battle Cry that actually gets worse once you complete the quest.
Yeah.
So that's a great pickup for stage 5, because they do want to keep these Sludge Slurpers in hand so they can maximize the value. Okay, so we see your Phantom Militia, Safeguard, and Senjin Shieldmaster. And the problem with Phantom Militia is that it's really good against wide boards, it's really good against aggro strats, but the problem is that it's really bad against mind control tech.
Yeah, and we see just lurking in the wings 2 copies of Mind Control Tech. So it looks like they're going to take it anyway, though.
It's probably the best taunt there. I think they kind of have to, and they're probably gonna either play into it at some point or just play around it by having their board traded.
Yeah. Is there any? I wonder if they're considering just playing it on turn 3 as a single 2/4. So on turn 4 they can mummy or tempo.
No, they have to coin a mummy now. They really want to get rid of this 0/2.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see the totem. Yes, this totem. This is a high. Oh, actually, they're just gonna go ahead and snip snap. Interesting. Not respecting the totem this turn. maybe next turn. If the mummy gets played.
I can see this play happening if you get your Dr. Boom early, because maybe then you can think, okay, well, they can have a little bit more value because we can go for the value game now with Dr. Boom secured. But since they don't have that yet, and I don't see what they will be wanting to coin anytime soon, I don't understand this play.
And I guess next turn. I guess they're just they're looking at their curve into the future maybe, and just not wanting to expend their coin. Though I'm not sure what they're holding on. There's hope springs eternal, that you draw your boom so that you can coin it out on 8 potentially. But I'm not sure what their goal is. So this turn for sure, Mummy's going to come down. It can clear off two threats, including this totem.
Yeah,
be able to,
and then stay alive to contest the lackey.
Yeah. So this the totem was able to generate 2 lackeys, but it's not. Obviously, this is one of the decks that leverages lackeys the best. It's not game winning to get 2 lackeys off your totem.
No, it's not game winning, but considering that your hero becomes the spirit of the shark,
right?
the majority of the game, I think I think them having so much lackeys, and look at this value now. Look at this. They are completing the quest. They're gonna create an unnumbered amount of random spells that Swagoi are now incapable of playing around. I think this could have been avoided or at least reduced just by coining out the clear last turn.
Yeah, and so now Swagoi Gaming has to. We actually see a Bloodlust already picked up for stage 5, but Swagoi, yeah, the number of Shaman spells you would have to play around. We see Bloodlust, one of them already, but Stormbringer, you know, there's Rains of Toads, Hexes, Earth Shocks, you know, so now all of a sudden all of your magnetic stuff gets a little more uncertain. So it'll either get transformed or silenced potentially. Just there's a lot of unknown unknowns that Swagoi has to consider. Do we even bother playing around them? Because there's so many things.
Yeah, I mean, Swagoi must think about that brawl keep just sitting in their hand. From my experience playing that matchup, you usually tend to save brawl till the very late game, or at least till around turn 5 or 6, and you're pretty likely to draw that. So yeah, I mean,
I would assume this is a Blazing Invocation or maybe a Haunting Visions.
I think it's going to be Blazing. Although Discover was nerfed because it doesn't have the Discover bonus anymore for class cards, so maybe they take the other Discover, which is guaranteed to get you class cards because spells are only class cards.
Right. All right, double evolve. Oh, hey, look at this guy. Look at this legendary Murloc. Whole Scargill.
Gonna reduce the other Slut Slurper by 0.
That's right.
That's amazing value.
What savings? You can't afford not to.
Unbelievable value from this guy.
Towncrier gonna go ahead and pick up the Ziliax. And Swagoi needs to decide how they want to address this board. And you know, Ziliax is green, and there's something with 3 health on the other side. Always worth your time and consideration.
Yeah, they're trading appropriately. They're removing the big minions here. They're holding on to theirs. Probably going to coin that Tomb Warden, which are going to be pretty ineffective.
And
from what we're seeing,
they might get. Well, okay, so there's a couple of powerful things that Stage 5 can do. They can hero power Former Champ if they want to get a couple of 5/5s. They can play out their Weaponized Wasp in conjunction with what we see here.
Wow, that's horrible.
Those are bad. All right, so they're going to go ahead and activate their Rain of Toads, which will allow them to get that Mogu Flesh Shaper traded into the Ziliax and mutated this turn. This is one of the most powerful things that this deck can do. Cheap Mogu Flesh Shaper, trade something, evolve it. Wow, oh my.
They don't have Rush though, right? Do they have any Rush minions? Oh, they have the other one. Oh, no,
it's Flesh Shaper.
It's in their hand.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, no.
Still, they were able to clear everything off Warriors board and heal their Rhino.
Yeah, so that plays around coin. The Echo Whirlwind. Jesus, Warpath.
Oh, Warpath. Yeah.
So pretty much that really wants to bait out a brawl, right? They're playing around the Warpath. So Swagoi throws down their brawl. That's a pretty early stage of the game, and it's a pretty insignificant board for Stage 5 Gaming to lose because it uses a randomly generated spell that they wouldn't have played anyway in another game, and one minion that was played for free.
Yeah, and those minions got to clear off, got to get attacks in. Yeah, it was like one that they brawled away, one mutate, one Mogu Flesh Shaper, and one discovered card. So they really, brawl, you're hoping to get a lot more than that.
And now there's no answer. There's no other massive board clear, so these Tomb Wardens are going to have to be thrown on the board. Actually, they're not going to have to be thrown because they're a good play.
Right.
But I mean, they don't do enough as far as we see right now. And Swagoi does not have Warpath, does not have Second Brawl. And if they want to trigger that Plague of Wrath they have in hand, they're going to have to do that with trades.
Yeah.
One trade.
Yeah, that's right. They can activate it. And this, pressuring warrior on turn 9 is just a really good thing. Their Omega Devastators aren't online. Their Omega Assemblies aren't online. They want to play Dr. Boom if they have it in hand. And so this like high pressure play from stage 5 is just, it's a
Phantom Militia or Shield Block. I think it might be Shield Block because you don't want to play into MC Tech, so just play 2 Phantom Militia and Shield Block.
Yeah, slow down this board as much as you can without letting them steal your board from you. Oh, actually, it's looking like triple Phantom Militia.
Okay, so that's what we were talking about. They picked the best taunt by far, and they're opting to just play into 1 Mind Control steal.
Yeah, so the Mind Control,
interesting.
yeah.
Because they didn't trade the 3/6 now. Because if you trade it into the 3/1, you are preventing a good evolve, and you are also making the MC Tech worse.
All right, so we're gonna see hero power double spell, and with the Bloodlust in hand. All right, Blazing Invocation, the first pick. Does Wind Fury Bloodlust get there? No, I think there's too many.
Not yet.
But this. The Wind Fury.
Oh wow! You just play Barista, right? No.
Oh, interesting. We're actually gonna Bloodlust to clear this board. And Wind Fury, because the Wind Fury does allow 16 damage to make it to the face this turn. Which, I'm not a mathematician. Yeah, but that's a lot. And they have a potential Discover to find some more burn damage. Shudderwalk, after they're able to play the Life Drinker, they can. Actually, they can't hero power, Life Drinker, and Barista in a single turn, so they have to decide how they want to.
No, if they want to do it correctly, then they play Life Drinker, Barista, I think.
Oh yeah, then they can hero power, Life Drinker again. That makes sense.
Just because the Lackey is still on board. If the Lackey goes away, they probably just play the Invocation first, see what they get, and then just double Life Drinker.
All right, lots of shield blocking going on, which as far as things to do with the shield, that makes a lot of, it's a pretty reasonable thing to do.
Yeah. Definitely what they should have done. Like, I don't see another option. They could coin the assembly here. They're not gonna do that though.
All right, Blazing Invocation. King Feoris is the coolest one. I don't know if it's the most reasonable one, but it's a 10-mana legendary. In terms of dust value, King Feoris is the most valuable choice. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just pick up an Owl in case of a big magnetic or a taunt or something.
We have seen Ziliax, so how much do they care? There's only 1 Tomb Warden, there maybe an Armageddillo. They're probably gonna pick it for those, but like it's really insignificant now that Ziliax is out of the way.
Yeah, they've seen Snip Snap and Ziliax, so yeah, a lot of all their magnetic stuff is gonna have to come off assemblies or Dr. Boom hero power.
Maybe they get double Ziliax from double assembly.
Could be. That's right. That was buffed. Your chances to get Ziliax is increased, as well as Snip Snap.
That's true, and the 2/6 taunt with lifesteal, whatever the.
Oh yeah, the Rusty Recycler. Yeah.
Rusty Recycler. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that name.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna evolve. Looking for an Argent Commander or a Leroy? Wait, is that the Oblitron? The Oblivitron?
Yeah, that's the Oblivitron, the Hunter Legendary. It doesn't do anything here. It only interacts with Death Rattles, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the wrong side of the equation there. This is a Battle Cry deck, not a Death Rattle deck.
That's really good for stage 5 though. They don't want to throw any of these Battle Cry.
Yeah.
No Ziliax here.
It looks like a Tomb Warden, a Hecklebot, and a Steel Rager coming off the Omega Assembly. And this is awkward.
This is awkward, but doable.
Can they get out of range of the Shudderwalk? Because the Shudderwalk should life drinker twice, right?
There's only 1 Life Drinker that was played, as far as I know.
I think they opted to hero power Life Drinker. So does that give Shudderwalk 2 life drinks. If you like hero power, life drinker.
No. That only counts for one battle cry.
Oh, okay.
Only counts for the first.
All
So
right.
that's
Hey,
Shadow Walk here.
yes, we can go fishing for some lackeys this turn, and potentially find
The
some
right
sort
one.
Yeah. And all right, Witchy Lackey is gonna come down immediately and turn. Oh,
That's
water
good.
elemental. Yeah.
That's a good one. And here's the greediness with the coin is kind of costing them. Like it's not what's losing them the game. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I have to ask myself, what are they saving the coin for? I guess they're saving it for Dr. Boom coin hero power, I suppose.
Yeah, because that's all. I mean, looking at their deck.
Yeah, like
I don't know what else.
Sanders always said, it's not about what you have in your hand. You play with what you have in your deck.
That's right. You play with the cards in your deck and hand. And if you're this quest shaman, all of the cards in the game.
I kind of disagree though. You only play with the cards in your deck if your hand sucks. Like you don't want to play into top decks. It's like you prefer making optimal plays with what you have, unless they're too bad of a play.
So what do you think about Life Drinker Barista this turn?
Well, you
Oh,
can't.
wow.
You never have enough mana for that.
No, just like single Life Drinker Barista. But no, they're gonna double Life Drinker. Go ahead and double silence this Tomb Warden. Very silent Tomb Warden.
I like that. That sets up Shadow Walk lethal.
Yeah, that's right. Because now the Shutterwalk has 2 Life Drinker battle cries in it.
Okay, it's. I think it's time for Ziliax here.
Oh yeah, time to rip this Omega Assembly and hit a Ziliax.
Yeah, Shadow Walk doesn't kill them. Actually, it does. Shadow Walk plays 2 life drinkers now, so it does kill them. They have to get outside of the Shadow Walk range. They have to get Ziliax. They have no other way. So I think they're trying to empty their hand here.
Yeah, they'd like to take all 3 chances at that Ziliax if possible. And they have 9 cards in hand, so they'll play out the Dinomatic. Don't you have to coin as well to maximize your chances? Oh no, I guess not. That gets them all the way down. I don't see any Ziliaxes in that hand. Falular, I don't see a Ziliax anywhere actually. And that's it. Shutterwalk is going to be able to successfully deal the 6 damage necessary to win the game.
Yeah.
Unless there's something I just don't see right now.
No, I don't think they have it. They didn't get Ziliax. They lost. Like they only had a chance with Dr. Boom or with the Ziliax. That's gonna be it. Shaman is arguably unfavored, but it's been so honed in the last couple of weeks, and people have learned to play this deck to the max, and it just beats Warrior consistently now in the right hands.
Yeah, and it's just if you get in enough reps with this deck, it seems like this deck can provide you the tools to potentially get there against almost anybody.
Yep, they passed the first hurdle, which was the toughest, which is Druid. It beats Shamans consistently. And once they do that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. They do have Murloc Shaman to deal with, though.
Yeah,
which is...
so... Murloc Shaman. I mean, Quest Druid does play some stuff to the board in the early game, and also Stage 5 has been great at drawing their questing explorers, at least one of them in the early game, which can certainly help slow down a Murloc Shaman. I'm not exactly sure what the card... there's also some other board control tools in there. Sandstorm Elemental comes to mind, just blowing up boards of Murlocs a little later on. Because you kind of need the double... Obviously, a single one will deal with like Grimscale Oracles, stuff like that. But if you're trying to blow up, the underbelly anglers, the Cold Light Seers, the Murloc War Leaders.
Yep.
We haven't seen us. Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say Mind Control Tech hasn't come up yet, but that's a good one when they got a bunch of Murlocs and you can steal 2 of them.
Yep. So basically, Mind Control Tech probably gets dumped on the board once the once the opponent has 4 minions, like you probably play it before you complete your quest, unless you have a better play. But yeah, the sand elementals or the storm elementals, whatever their name is, I'm so bad with names. But
No,
these guys, the
the sandstorm
sandstorm elementals are a really important tool for the quest shaman here. As long as they have some sort of tempo in the early game, they can soften up this board for the Murloc shaman for these to be valuable. So I think you hard mulligan for those and for these cheap minions to play early. Ideally, you get those when you go first. But even if you don't, you want that kind of curve for the quest shaman, or else you're going to get stomped.
Yeah, ironically, one of the cheapest cards you can get is Mogu Flesh Shaper, because they'll play out a bunch of Murlocs, and then you get to Mogu Flesh Shaper, for 2 or 1 or
that's
0.
another good tool here, definitely.
There's also the risk of this deck sort of drawing itself upside down, right? Because you end up with a handful of Giggling Inventor, Former Champ, Barista Lynchin. These Murlocs may just run you over before you have the chance to find the actual tools you're looking for. The mind control techs we were talking about, Sandstorm Elemental. Lackeys that can deal some damage, give you rush, stuff like that.
Yeah, if we're talking about consistency, then the Murloc Shaman is way more consistent in developing some tempo on the board, and we already have a great hand here in Swagoi. They're probably going to hold on to this Underbelly Angler and maybe even to the other 2 Murlocs here, just so they can coin maybe the Oracle alongside the Underbelly Angler. Actually, I would just coin Underbelly Angler because they're going second, but enough of that. On the other side, we do have that Giggling Inventor you were talking about. It's a dead card here, but
And
we do have the best 2-drop for Stage 5 gaming here, if you count the Sandstorm element out.
Hey, and perhaps the finest 3-drop. You were saying, you can play this on 3 because there's going to be a lot of Murlocs. Chances are it's going to be live on 3. And it's just a huge board tempo swing in your favor.
Yeah, so we're going to see that Angler coined. Very strong play, very scary play if you're Stage 5 gaming here. But they are developing their own 2-3, their own Crocodilus. The problem here is that Grimscale Oracle is going to allow you to value trade this. It's going to be very awkward for Stage 5 gaming unless they get the correct Lackey next turn.
Yeah, and that's, wow, look at all those Murloc Tide Callers. That is 3 of a kind. They're actually working on a pretty good poker hand right now with 3 of a kind Murloc Tide Callers.
Oh, they got it. They got it.
Oh yeah, big Murloc, big Kobold Lackey off the Evil Cable Rat there is going to allow. But we actually see the second Angler in hand already, although no cheap Murlocs to pair with it. So
I think you still play it. Oh no, you never played actually. Oh, that's. I think you just play you go for the wide play. You go for the Murloc Tide Hunters.
Looks like they're gonna just go ahead and play the Underbelly Angler, and then clear out the Lackey in hopes that there's no. I guess they know that the Lackey's played, so if there is a Wasp in Stage 5's hand, they can disable it by trading in their Oracle.
They have to trade into the Lackey here. Like Bog Slosher is not scary. You don't care if they take that back into their hand. You do care about the tempo, and the Wasp is sick tempo.
Yeah.
Definitely a good trade here, a good spot from Swagoi. I would still consider not playing 2-3, but maybe that rat does justify that because it doesn't trade well into this 2-3.
And a big Taunt Totem gonna prevent Swagoi from being able to kill the Lackey Generator Totem, the Evil Totem.
So now you have a very awkward choice. You play the 4/4. You get 1 Murloc. You buff this with HP. You potentially unlock a 1 Murloc, a 1-cost Murloc from Discover, or you just play double Murloc Tide Hunters, which is really weak against Sandstorm Elemental and is also very weak against Mind Control Tech.
Yeah, anything you do this turn, because even if you Murloc Tide Hunter and Hero Power, like you're saying, that once again makes you vulnerable to Mind Control Tech.
Legendaries probably got to be played.
It seems like this is the time, because if stage 5 can't clear, like stage 5 would like to clear both of these Murlocs, because them especially together is a lot of potential threat value, both threat and value.
These are two very high priority Murlocs to kill. Oh my god!
Wow.
These are two very high priority Murlocs to kill, and they can only kill one of them. So if they choose to kill the 4/4, I think it would probably be advisable, because that represents more tempo right now. The other one represents value, but you are way less scared from value than you are from tempo, because you got more value because you're Quest Shaman. You don't care about the value, you care about the tempo.
Yeah, and being able to clear the 4/4 will, because the flood that's coming if stage 5 chooses to, disregard this Scargill, this is going to explode into a 7 creature board instantly.
This turn is pivotal. Like they have to make the right choice, which I agree is the Scargill.
All right.
If they don't, they are potentially throwing this game away. Yeah, they are identifying this. They are good players.
Yeah. All right. So now the Swagoi does have a couple. They're getting into the mana ranges where they can play. Sort of a low. Oh, actually, interesting. They have the possibility of playing their other Underbelly Angler and the Cold Light Seer if they want to just make real big Underbelly Anglers this turn. They could also charge in their Bluegill Warrior if they wanted to try to keep stage 5's board under control. Trying to think if there's a reason.
War Leader with Bluegill.
Oh yeah, that would allow the Bluegill to clear off the Wasp.
Yep. And that's the biggest threat here. And if it baits out the other Wasp, they don't need to worry about that anymore. And they also can't clear one of these Murlocs as far as Swagoi Gaming is concerned. Obviously, we know that they have the right lackey to clear both.
Yeah, this is the Kobold lackey in hand is just going to once again seemingly close the door on Swagoi Gaming, but they've managed to get a third Underbelly Angler. So if this game continues, although I think you were saying a couple turns ago, as this game continues, Stage 5's deck has just a bunch of value. So the longer the game goes, the more...
Murlocs, even with all this synergy, can compete with what Quest Shaman can produce. So if you lose the tempo to Quest Shaman,
right,
you're not going to beat them with value.
No, this Murloc Shaman deck is supposed to be ahead on tempo. And then eventually, bloodlust you to death around now, right? Turn 7, turn 8 would be a great time for Murloc Shaman to be winning the game through one of its 2 copies of Bloodlust. But we've seen that Quest Shaman is able over and over again to keep the Murlocs off the board. And now Swagoi is going to play right into Mind Control tech. And the quest is complete, so it's a...
Yeah, we're probably going to see a Mind Control tag going down here for just one of these Murlocs, unless the Novice picks up a better card to play. Okay.
Flesh Shaper.
These might be better cards. You might just trade some of these minions on board away, just so you can play more lackeys here instead of stealing one Murloc.
They're opting to... Oh, it looks like they're going to opt to steal the Murloc. Yeah,
I mean, play their rush here without evolving it. It's a 3/4 rush. It's really good in this matchup.
Yeah, 3/4 rush for 0. I would play that.
And a beautiful trade-off here. They understand they have better minions to play next turn, so they clear off their small minions, although they don't have to.
And this is going to be
the final push.
Yeah, Swagoi needs to figure out some way to get...
Let's get another angler.
Yeah, what? I guess if they are able to generate a Bluegill Warrior, they can give it poison with this Toxfin. But I don't... really, they're always behind the initiative, right? The Stage 5 has board initiative every single turn. Wow, that's amazing. That's the 4th one.
If they dodge a Sandstorm Elemental now, and force the trade from Stage 5, they may still be in this.
And a Murloc Tasty Fin. That does represent, all of their entire deck is Murlocs, except for the 2 copies of Soul of the Murloc and 2 copies of Bloodlust.
Okay, they are aggressively looking for Sandstorm now. Are they picking it up?
Giggling Inventor. A
Oh,
Mutate.
That's great. It can give you Walking Fountain, which completely annihilates Wagoi if it somehow evolves into that.
And they're going to be able to actually use their Flesh Shaper to trade into this 2/3 and then evolve it.
See what they get.
Just in case it's the... Oh,
It's a
okay.
taunt.
Yeah,
It's not
a taunt.
amazing. It's a taunt.
The Heroic Innkeeper, I think.
Yes, I think that's her name.
Yeah.
She gets +2/+2 for each minion on the board, so she can potentially get 12 more in stats because you can play her into a full board.
Yeah, and if you activate that hero power going into it,
Well, we may just see her being played, right? Because we have a Barista Lynch in.
You're right. Oh, that's amazing. Please do it.
Yes.
Never seen hero power Brave Tavern Keeper before. Although I have a feeling, a Wandering Mind perhaps. Oh, get thrown out the oops there from stage
Round
5.
4.
Yeah, okay. This, unless they can get a 5th angler. It's okay, Fish Flinger is cheap enough for them to play. I guess now they have to decide if they want to Murloc Tasty Fin to get more draws out of their own deck, or Fish Flinger.
You don't
to
get
try
value from War Leader here, and Tasty Fin doesn't allow you to play anything else. I think you have to play the Fish Flinger.
Okay, it looks like
They
they're
beg to differ.
they're gonna play one of their generated Tasty Fins.
I just would have assumed they were gonna have to go for round 5 here, the anglers, but they opted not to. There's the Bloodlust here. Is that lethal?
Let's see.
Should be.
3, 6, 9, 12,
Should
15, 18 million damage. Yeah, it's they've got. Wow.
So Lei
Quest
Shen here
Shaman.
beats Lei Shen.
Yeah.
Really nice series. Stage 5 Gaming know their stuff with Quest Shaman.
Yeah, that was just a great way to see or not even Control Shaman, just Quest Shaman. A great way to see Quest Shaman navigate 3 different matchups.
Yeah, it's pretty much been a hero's journey for Quest Shaman here, beating the toughest opponent first. Actually, really good Q from Swagoi here, but they ended up losing that matchup and just got stomped with the 2 other decks that are not meant to counter it.
Yeah, and Swagoi bowing out. They were the number 2 seed coming into this. They were able to basically skip the first round of elimination. This was their first match in the playoffs. And stage 5 battles their way. So you're going to battle stage 5 next round.
Yeah. It's attack mode versus stage 5 tomorrow. But I would say a couple of words about Swagoi. They have been really impressive this season. They brought a good lineup. They opened with the correct deck in the series. I think they had a really good journey, and they could be extremely proud of themselves. I haven't seen them make any bad plays, strictly bad plays today, and they've really shown us that they do understand the matchups and how to navigate through them. They were a little bit unlucky though, and on the short end today. So
yeah.
GG to both teams, and shout out to Swagoi.
And definitely a big thank you to Swagoi for their time and for coming onto the stream. Playing on stream is I definitely appreciate people playing on stream because then I get to talk about it with you.
Well, that's a pretty good reason, right? Peculiar.
That's right. Peculiar. So I think that is going to do it for our broadcasts for today. Big thank you to Falular. Now I'm all self-conscious when I try to say your name. Big thank you to Falular for coming on and broadcasting this one with us. And so tomorrow, I believe we're going to get to see Epic Esports up against NORDAVIND, and we're going to get to see Attack Mode up against Stage 5 Gaming. That'll be the semifinals. We're closing in, man. Closing in on the winner of Season 3.
Yeah, they're going to be really exciting games tomorrow. I hope nothing ends with a 3-0, just because I want to see and experience as much of these games as possible. Yeah, we're gonna have some really great series.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if any of these series, feel free to go the distance. And we're actually gonna get to see the defending champion from season 2 has not yet been eliminated in the form of Nordavind. So they're going to be actually the first semifinal match is going to be Nordavind against Epic Esports, which if I'm not mistaken, and someone double check me on this, that was the grand finals of last season, right? Epic versus Nordavind.
Yeah, Epic beat us and went straight to the finals. They beat us, I think, in the top 8, which is quarterfinals. They moved on. They came in to the finals against Nordavind. It was pretty climactic, and now they're going to meet at the semifinals.
Yeah,
I guess both teams must feel kind of uncomfortable about that. I bet they would have preferred meeting each other in the finals, but it's going to be pretty much maybe the most exciting game for most viewers because these are the two big names. They've been very consistent throughout the season. They've been really consistent throughout the last season. Pretty much stomping through. I think this season Epic came out first with a
and
they
they
beat
actually,
Nordavind in the Swiss. They came out first. Nordavind really starting off strongly, but kind of slowing down near the end. Picking it up though in playoffs.
oh yeah, definitely looking to make it all the way. I want to get your opinion on obviously we just saw it completely work. Stage 5 just not bringing Priest seems pretty off. I mean, Priest has got to be one of the most brought decks over the past several weeks. What are your thoughts on the no Priest bring?
I think I like it. Like I'm a guy that doesn't like Priest. If this wasn't a team competition, I wouldn't bring Priest just because how uncomfortable I feel playing it. And I don't know what was their reasoning, but Priest is the strongest deck right now, and probably the deck that's very not easy to counter, but very sought after to counter. It's like people either tech their decks to counter it or ban it. So they looked for a deck that pretty much accomplishes the same thing, does the same things in the same matchups, and they came on to Warrior, which beats Druid pretty much as consistently and has pretty much similar win rates against aggressive decks. So I think that's kind of a hipster move that worked out for them because it soaks up the same bans from people who try to ban Priest, but for people who try to tech against Priest, their techs are not going to be as effective against the Warrior.
Yeah.
So I think it's really smart.
Yeah,
It
that's
got banned, right? It soaked out the ban.
Yeah, that's right. And all the stuff you would put in to try to increase your chances against Priest, transformation effects to try to ruin their resurrection pool, silences to try to stop their Amit. Those are things that this Warrior does not necessarily fall prey to because they're not trying to resurrect stuff, they're trying to damage their own stuff, hit you with the big combo, using that Bloodsworn Mercenary and stuff like that.
And when the Warrior loses the board, it has so much damage from face, and I think that's another key difference. Because if you're an aggressive deck taking the board away from Priest, or if you're a Priest taking the board away from Priest, the Priest lost the game. It's not going to be able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
The Warrior has plenty of charge, plenty of weapons. There is no weapon removal in the tournament meta right now.
All right, and it sounds like we're actually going to get to speak to Atticus, the pilot for Stage 5 in the previous series, at the guy at the controls, bringing them all the way to that 3-0 victory over Swagoy.
Hello.
Hey, Atticus! Congratulations on that win. You Stage 5 just brought down the number 2 seed.
Great
what were you thinking about going into this series?
We were a bit concerned about either like Priest or Control Warrior with our lineup, but we decided Priest is just too nutty to leave it up. So that was like the one deck we were afraid of, but in the other 2 decks we were quite confident we could beat. So the second game was like the key matchup for us, and we're happy it turned out that way, I guess.
Yeah, nothing wrong with I would imagine a 3-0. That's got to feel, especially because we were talking a little bit about the the Verse Druid matchup and the Verse Control Warrior matchup, two very different kind of deck play styles, right? I keep calling it Control Shaman. I don't know. I've got a zeitgeist stuck in my head. For your Quest Shaman.
Yeah.
Phase Shaman.
Right. Yeah. It turned into Face Shaman against that Druid. That was amazing.
Yeah, we were able, like, that Bloodlust Wind Fury was in that Warrior matchup nutty as well. Like, just bursting him in one turn. And against Druid also, like, just hero power and all the shooters is just so much damage.
Can you explain a little bit more about your queue order decisions? Because you had to be afraid of that Druid queuing the Shaman first. What was your thought process like deciding on that?
So we were like going through the matchups, and in our mind it was like, okay, our Druid, our Zulog should beat Druid most of the time. I mean, we even play like the a bit more a bit more aggressive list with the Thrasher, like especially to be good against Druid. And then we thought like, okay, that Shaman wasn't really something something we practiced against. And then we looked at the Warrior and we were like, okay, our Druid should have at least a decent shot against the Druid. And I mean, with the Elise, we probably always win that. So we were like, okay, those are the two decks we want to queue into them. So let's just give Shaman a shot and maybe we can sneak a game with Shaman. That was the initial thought. Because
and then you accidentally snuck all 3 games.
Yeah, it's kind of what I thought. It's a really good way of thinking, right? Your Shaman doesn't do anything. It doesn't snipe anything really hard, and the other 2 decks actually do that. So going for that first was a good decision. But I was just so curious about knowing that because it seemed almost seamless the way you played it and just took this 3-0. And I was wondering maybe you actually thought it was the deck that could swipe the most.
I mean, I feel like we were a bit like Shaman and Zoo are solid decks in all matchups. I feel like maybe Zoo struggles a bit against Control Warrior, but in general, I feel like those 2 decks are quite solid at the moment, and they are not like hard losing. I mean, Druid has some matchup it just hard loses, or most likely hard loses. So we were like, okay, let's queue something solid, and then Shaman fit in as well. That's like, I think, a good way to put it. Like starting with something that can 3-0. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking just a second or 2 ago, basically speculating about the no priest bring. Obviously, we have our thoughts, but go ahead and take us through the not bringing priest thought process.
Well, the thing is, I wasn't able to, like, I was busy with university when the guys built the lineup, and I would have brought Priest, especially after the weekend we had at this offline event where Priest just pretty much high rolled everyone. But like our idea was that people either ban Priest or like try to find some way to beat it, and we were like, okay, everyone expects everyone to bring Priest, so what if we don't bring it? And that turned out for now, I guess. Just I mean, there are like quite some strong names in the tournament left. Like for example, NORDAVIND, and then we were like, okay, we need to get an edge somewhere. Let's just try to get it like with trying something not so standard.
And it's so counterbalance.
Yeah, that's right. It probably drew the same band. And if there's one deck that most people probably have a lot of practice against, it's probably Priest.
Yeah, on ladder I can see that. Someone injured.
Yeah, it's about to be me unless I can clear this 1-3, which apparently is just freaking impossible.
Yeah, that's just so stupid.
It's a pretty broken deck. I think we could all agree.
Yeah. Well, hey, congratulations again.
Thank you.
It's tough. You know, instinctively, it's like, oh yeah, good luck in your match tomorrow. But you're actually up against my co-caster, so I don't know how. I'm torn. I'm conflicted.
No, I wish them good luck as well. I mean,
yeah,
you don't want to beat someone because they had bad luck, right?
Right. Well, congratulations on the win. Yeah. Thank you so much,
guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
That's right. Settle this on the decks.
I guess I'll leave then.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck tonight. Good luck tomorrow. We will. We'll
Thanks.
see you. We'll basically see you in a couple of hours.
Yeah, I guess. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Man. All right. So yeah, I'd say you pretty much hit the nail on the head. It draws the same bans, does aggro warrior, and it, so the tech cards don't work against it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty brilliant. We debated this else, but we just decided that Priest is too broken not to bring.
Right.
And as long as we have a pilot capable of playing it, I'm the pilot, but I mean, as long as we have someone who's capable of being the brain behind the Priest, then I'm fine with it. It's a very good deck. Like passing on it is very difficult. I think they passed on it for the right deck.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us today. I just want to do a super quick thank you to our sponsors, 24 Hour Fitness, GameStop, and Matcherino. Look into them on when you're checking out the internet, when you're doing internet stuff. A big thanks to both Swagaway Gaming and Stage 5, as well as NORDAVIND and For the Win Esports for playing on stream today. Some fantastic matches. We got to see. We're actually seeing quite a few different classes represented, which is just cool for me as a Hearthstone fan. I like seeing different decks, even within the same heroes. We're seeing some different decks as well. Murloc, Shaman, debuting in the top 8.
I wish I could see Rogue, but yeah.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
But yeah,
Thanks a lot to Demi as well.
Yes, big thank you to Bemi for putting all this together. The technical director behind the curtain, without which we would all just be speaking into the void. None of my accent would make it out to all of you in the internet, which that would be a shame. I think we can all agree.
That would be a terrible shame. Next broadcast, you should speak in tongues.
Just the whole time.
Bring some of that. I don't know where you're from in the States, but bring some of that into the cast.
Yeah, I actually have one of the weirdest. Like even Americans think my accent is weird because I learned English overseas, and so like my American accent is relatively recent. So I have like UK spellings sometimes when I speak. It's I'm a just a mashup. I'm just a mosh pit of different linguistic influences.
That's why you're here.
Exactly. All right, and Falula, thanks so much for jumping on with me, and good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks a lot. See you guys later.
Yeah, have a great weekend. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Heart.